Shalom, Israel. This is the brother Justin coming to you. I'm about to get into the false image of Christ that the people have been putting out through the world, that Christ is a white man, which the Bible proves he's not. In Revelation, the first chapter, I'm about to prove to you using the King James Bible and the King James Apocrypha to prove to you that the image of Christ that they put out through the world is false. Revelations 1:1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, what God gave unto him, to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angels unto his servant John. As you see that about the John the Revelator and his vision of Christ, the testimony. Revelation 1:13. In the midst of 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hair were like wool, white like wool. When you say white like wool, meaning the color and the texture. Christ had white woolly hair, as white as snow, and his eyes were the flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if it burned in the furnace, and his voice at the sound of many waters. Meaning, when Christ spoke, he spoke with a loud, authoritative voice. And they're talking about his feet like unto fine brass. If you see fine brass, you know that it's brown. As if it burned in the furnace, it became very dark. Christ was a very dark man. Let me get into the prophet Daniel. His vision of Christ. Daniel 10:5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. His body also like the bearer. The word bearer means green yellow, green garment. And his face has the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as a lamp of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Like you read in Revelation, the first chapter, it'll tell you Christ had a loud authoritative voice. Let me get into the Apocrypha, the Wisdom of Solomon, 14th chapter, to show you how they push this false image throughout the Bible. Wisdom of Solomon, 14, verse 8. But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well as he that made it, he because he made it, and it because being corrupted, but it was called God. He said if you made with hands, it's cursed. You go to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, verse 8. It'll show you why it was cursed. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the works of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. Meaning, they pretty much made idols out of their hands and worship in this land of all captivities. Let me get back into the Wisdom of Solomon, 14th chapter, verse 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto God. Verse 10. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Pretty much meaning, this false image of Christ, this white man, C.G. Borgia, pretty much the image is going to be destroyed. Most High going to take it away. This is verse 11. Therefore, even unto the idols, even upon the idols, of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creation of God they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. Meaning, they are a abomination to the God for this image that they put out throughout the world. This is verse 12. For the division of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. Verse 13. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. Meaning, this image that they put out was not what our forefathers knew. We did not know no white image of Christ. And they will not stand forever, because it shall be destroyed. Then in verse 14. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Men put these images throughout the world. If you read verse 15, surely go through about Rodrigo Borgia putting this image of Caesar Borgia as Christ. And let's read. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image of his child son taken away, not honoring him as a God which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Caesar and his father Rodrigo made an image for his dead son Caesar. And another thing that will derive from this Christmas crap